Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. Um, just, oh, sorry, I had a call. Just feeding my little guy. Um, whoa. So I think the last video I made was like before I went into labor. I gave birth on November 14th. It is now well into December. I don't even know. My baby is a month old, my little boy, Branko. Um, Branko is a Serbian name. It's very fitting. My husband and I have decided to kind of keep him out of the limelight for now. Anyway, so postpartum delivery. Whoa, dude, I got rocked. I literally got mentally and physically rocked. So I don't talk about it much, but I have an autoimmune disease called ulcerative colitis. 1 week before I delivered, I was hospitalized because I was having a flare-up. They had to administer IV steroids, which I was freaking out because of the baby, but they assured me that it was safe because I was so late in my pregnancy. Anyway, I delivered at exactly 39 weeks. So I was in the hospital for like 3 or 4 days, and then they sent me home on oral steroids called Prednisone and another med called mesalamine. And both of these are supposed to be completely safe for pregnancy and for breastfeeding also. So my flare-up kind of cleared up, and I got sent home, and then Friday rolled around. I guess it would be the 12th. And my water broke. And I got my husband, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have to go to the hospital right away. But hours and hours and hours passed, and nothing was happening. I wasn't having contractions. And I called the hospital, and they said, definitely come in. So I reluctantly packed everything and went in and told my doula what was going on. I told her we don't need her right away. I wasn't even having contractions or anything. The hospital's freaking out, talking about infection because my water broke for so long and I wasn't going into labor. So I just kept telling them that I didn't want antibiotics. They wanted to just pump me full of antibiotics for no reason. They kept checking my vitals, my temperature, everything. Everything was fine. Anyway, so then we started off with Cervidil, and we tried to induce some contractions or something that my cervix wasn't dilating either. It was softened. I was at like a 2, but it just wasn't going anywhere. So we did Cervidil, we did Cytotec, I think that's what it's called. Nothing happened. Finally, on Saturday night, Saturday night we started, and granted, I had been in the hospital since Friday, so for over 24 hours, no sleep. I was tired, my husband was tired. Finally, we started, what's it called? I'm sorry, my brain, I'm still postpartum. My hormones are crazy. Anyway, we started the induction with, I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, the thing that induces contraction. Oh, Pitocin. I'm so sorry. Pitocin. We started it, finally, after Cervidil and Cytotec did not work. Pitocin was crazy. It made my contractions go from 0 to 100. It was pretty intense. And then I basically got to a 4, 5, and I was like, give me an epidural now. I was hallucinating at that point. I was so tired from no sleep. I was exhausted. I was just lethargic. I was laying on the bathroom floor. They had all these monitors on me, and I was losing it. Like, I was so freaking tired, and I could, like, my body was just giving up because of the extreme fatigue. There was no way I could deliver a baby in that state. So, against all of my wishes, I got the epidural, and it was the best decision I have ever made. The anesthesiologist came in. I was so happy to see him. These contractions I wasn't getting a break in between. It was crazy. It was so painful, and my body just couldn't handle it. I was really breaking down. And his heart rate was strong throughout everything. And we did have one scare, actually, with the cytotech. There was one contraction with the cytotech where my belly contracted for 5 minutes straight, and it was too much stress on him, and the entire labor and delivery unit comes rushing in, scared the shit out of me. They were like, get on your hands and knees. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get on my hands and knees. They had to give me a shot in my butt to stop the contraction. His heart rate went down to like 30 something. Freaked me out, dude. Oh my God. I thought I was going to lose him. I was crying. I was shaking. Oh, it was so scary to even like think about that going back. Anyway, so I didn't want to do another round of cytotech. I was done with that. That scared the shit out of me. Anyway, I digress. Back to getting the epidural. That was the craziest feeling. Your legs feel like these like tree trunks. They're just not. They're so heavy and done. But everything's numb, and I actually got some rest. The nurse told me to get some rest, so I closed my eyes. We all did. By then, my doula was there. My husband was tired. We all just kind of like laid our head down and tried to rest. And within a couple hours, I dilated to a 10. She came in and checked me. I was a 7. And then she came in and checked me. I was a 10. And I could feel his head, the pressure. I could feel it moving down and then coming back up and then moving down. It was really interesting. But I woke up my doula. I was like, it's time. And so she went and got the nurse, and the nurse came in and checked me, and I was a 10, fully effaced. She's like, all right, let's do this. So I started pushing with her, and then the doctor came in. And the doctor came in when the baby was crowning, as they do. And I pushed my heart and soul out. And literally, my little heart over here. I had a 2nd-degree tear, which I didn't really feel at all at the time. Postpartum, definitely, it was rough. I'm only a month postpartum now, so he just turned a month, and I'm still healing. I still have some undissolved stitches down there, some lovely hemorrhoids. So anyway, fast forward, couple days after I deliver, I start seeing some blood in the toilet again. This is TMI for sure, but if you have ulcerative colitis, you know that it's an inflammatory bowel disease, and that is what happens. Basically, your mucous membrane gets shed in your colon, and nobody knows why. I've taken so many multiple allergy, like food tests. I'm not allergic to anything. It's so frustrating. I've had 3 flare-ups in my life, and I would have to say this is the most mild because I was so diligent in getting into the hospital on time, getting seen on time. The other two, I was not pregnant. I was stubborn. I ended up having to like get blood transfusions, and it's rough. It's really rough, and it's starting to really get to me. Um, that's another story. Anyway, a few days after I deliver, my flare up's coming back. Um, and the doctors, all they can really say is that it's because of all the hormonal fluctuations and everything. And I'm like, fuck, man, like, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. And I don't want to because I can't have my baby in the hospital and I'm breastfeeding. So, oh, and then a week after I deliver, my husband gets COVID. And so he can't watch the baby. I can't be home. So we go to my mom's. It was just like, when it rains, it pours was the phrase. It was a lot. And it was really rough. And I was at my mom's and I was getting sicker and sicker. And I was like, dude, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. I don't want to. I don't know what to do. Anyway, I ended up going. I had to leave my baby with I waited till my husband got better from COVID, the 10 days, which I shouldn't have done, but I had to. And then he watched the baby along with help from his mom, and his stepmom came over and like took night shifts. And I'm so lucky that I have everyone, and my mom helped out so much during the flare up because you're in the bathroom 20 times a day, like, and night. It's really hard. So everyone just kind of pitched in and helped. And finally, I went to the ER. I had to, and I was so upset. And I brought my pump with me because I knew I wasn't going to be able to breastfeed, but I still wanted to produce milk for him. So I'm like pumping in the ER. And they hooked me up to IV steroids one more time. And I got a few rounds of that. And then you can't be on IV steroids for very long. And then I went on to oral steroids, prednisone, which I think prednisone and prednisolone are like the most used for ulcerative colitis from what I'm aware of, from forums and everything like that, communities. I belong to like a few on Reddit and everything. But it works. It works. It sucks. The side effects suck. It gives you moon face, which I'm struggling with right now. It like deposits fat in weird places. And then once you start tapering off of them, you have to taper. You can't just stop taking them cold turkey. But once you taper off of the steroids, your fat deposits go back to normal, and like you don't store fat in your face and in your gut. It like bloats your belly, and like it's rough. Makes your bones ache and stuff, which I was like, how is this okay, like, to breastfeed, you know? But everyone, I asked the doctors, the pharmacists, and they all say that it's like the most minuscule amount that gets in, and it doesn't even affect the baby. I don't know. I just know that, like, so the time that I was in the hospital, we were giving the baby formula. Well, my husband and his mom and my mom and his stepmom, obviously he had to have formula. So we transitioned, and, you know, he was okay. He was fine and everything. But things just were different. Like, his skin was different when I got out of the hospital. Obviously his digestion was different. So I just really missed breastfeeding him. I could tell, you know, that it was the best thing for him. So I was discharged from the hospital. Oh, also I had to be on IV morphine. For those of you that know about ulcerative colitis, it is one of the most extremely painful diseases that you can suffer from. When you're in a flare-up, it feels like glass or razor blades just running through your intestines, and you just sit there and scream every time you have a bowel movement. Well, it's not really a bowel movement, it's just blood coming out of you. So yeah, you have to be on some kind of pain management. And this hospital that I go to seems to utilize morphine, which is perfectly fine with me. But anyway, so yeah, I waited till that was out of my system after I got out, and then I did take a little bit of an antibiotic, which I waited to get out of my system. And that's about it. So I am on the mend now. I've been out of the hospital for a bit. The inflammation is starting to subside. I'm still on oral steroid, but I am back to breastfeeding, and I'm starting to heal down there. It's painful for sure. The hemorrhoids kind of suck because, like, you kind of wonder, like, oh my gosh, is my flare-up coming back? I don't know. It's been a lot, to say the least. Oh, and then after my husband had COVID, then his mom got it, my mom got it, his stepmom got it, which she still has it right now as we speak. I never got it, and my son never got it. They tested me in the hospital. I don't know what that's all about, but I mean, knock on wood. Anyway, so I'm trying to think if there's anything that I forgot. If there's any questions that you guys have, please ask. My birth story definitely did not go anywhere as planned, like not even close. And I'm still so happy with it. Like, so happy with how the actual birth went. When I do have another child in the future, which we've talked about, we definitely want at least another child. We don't want an only child. Hopefully, I can control the flare up of ulcerative colitis. I definitely don't want another one. Since I don't know what causes it, it's kind of hard, but and the doctors say it's all the hormones, so I'm like, how do I even, like, avoid this, you know? But if that didn't happen, oh man, it would be just so dreamy, everything. Like, even the sleep deprivation, like, it's amazing having this new baby and the experience of being a mom now. Like, it makes me emotional, and like, it's just amazing, like, this life now. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the birth, feel free to ask. I am an open book. If you have questions about ulcerative colitis, ask me. Anything you guys want to ask or talk about. But yeah, I'm going to... He fell asleep on my boob. So I'm going to take care of this little guy, change his diaper and everything. And then, yeah, stay tuned for the next video. This kind of was impromptu. I meant to, like, put makeup on and stuff, but this is real postpartum and this is real life. So thank you so much all for watching. I'm so sorry it took me so long to get this video out. But like I said, any questions, any comments, anything, please feel free to ask. And I will see you in the next video.